Chapter 3. Homesick. Mr. Sesemann came home from his business trip with many gifts. He was happy to see Clara. He was also happy to meet Heidi. He could see that Heidi and Clara liked each other. But Ms. Rottenmeier said terrible things about Heidi to Clara's father.
"I think that little girl is crazy,"
she said.
"You should see the trouble she's caused here."
Mr. Sesemann asked Clara about Heidi.
"What happened while I was away?"
Clara told him about the kittens and other things. Mr. Sesemann laughed. He went to Ms. Rottenmeier and said,
"Heidi will stay. She is good for Clara."
A few days later, Mr. Sesemann left on another business travel. But his mother, Grandmama Sesemann, came to visit. Her face seemed very kind to Heidi. Heidi liked Grandmama very much. One day, Grandmama showed Heidi a book. She wanted to help Heidi with her reading. In the book, there is a picture of a boy with goats on a mountain. The picture reminded Heidi of Peter, so she began to cry. She was very homesick. Grandmama told Heidi she could have the book when she learned to read. From then on, Heidi tried very hard to read. That night, she prayed to God to help her read and go home. After a week, Grandmama heard Heidi reading to Clara. She gladly gave Heidi the picture book. It was time for Grandmama to leave the house. After she left, something strange started happening at night. Every morning, the front door was wide open. Sebastian locked the door tight every evening. But in the morning, it was open. It was a mystery. One night, Sebastian and another servant stayed up to watch the door. Then the wind blew the candle out. The house was totally dark, and the door was open. Sebastian saw a small person in white run up the stairs. He thought it was a ghost. He told everyone there was a ghost in the house. 2 days later, Mr. Sesemann came home. He and his friend, Dr. Klassen, stayed up to watch the door. Late that night, they heard the door opening. There was a small person in white clothes. It was Heidi.
"What are you doing?"
asked Mr. Sesemann. Heidi looked confused.
"I don't know," she answered. "Every night I dream I'm back with Grandfather."
"She's been sleepwalking,"
said Dr. Klassen.
"She must be very homesick. The only cure is to send her home."
The next day, Mr. Sesemann prepared to send Heidi home. Clara was very upset when she learned Heidi was leaving, but her father promised her she could visit Heidi with Grandmama very soon.